And welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. It's Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Les, how you doing this week?
Very good, Fred. And we are, as every week, we are chock full of information about the auto industry, good and bad, mostly
Yeah,
good.
mostly good. And we're starting with a question: is Toyota ready to mass produce solid-state batteries, which could result in a 700-mile electric range,
Yep.
blowing everyone else out of the water? You and I have discussed this. They got heat for kind of laying back and building some electric cars. Now, I think they could potentially blow the market wide open.
They certainly could, and I'm anxious to see this happen.
Yeah.
Imagine what that'll do for cell phones and just everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
I even said, what if they make a vehicle that you never have to charge? It can run for 100,000 miles.
it's conceivable.
Yeah.
And over at Mercedes, they released their AMG E PErformance Hybrid. Boy, they sure put out a lot of AMG type vehicles.
Yeah, they sure do. And this is, I believe, the first hybrid AMG. So that is pretty exciting news. And then also over at Toyota, they are going to be polishing up their Crown, which is their high, what would you call it? A high sedan, the high riding sedan.
Right,
Uh,
right.
uh,
Yeah, it's kind of the Jeep Eagle.
they probably,
And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just
it's an all
uh,
wheel drive
yeah,
raised
a raised,
sedan.
somewhat off-roadish sedan.
Yeah, well, they've come out with the 2024 edition of that, so they're going to be talking about that, and we'll be talking about it. And then
That's right.
we're also going to take a look at an iSeeCars.com study. What's happening to the affordability of used cars? Funny, someone was just saying they need a used car for 8 months because they want to buy something after that, and I said, well, I think used car prices are high, but actually they've come down a little bit. But we'll kind of take a deep dive into that.
Yeah,
Especially, it's good info if you're looking at buying a used car, right?
that's right. And over at the Porsche factories, well, the designers, they have a goal of saving the manuals. Now, that a manual is not an animal, this is a shifter.
Yes.
For those young people who have never heard of a manual shift, um, some people still love them.
Yeah.
So, hey, why not?
Why not? And we'll talk about that. And it might be a little bit harder to do in the electric world, but we'll talk about
Yep.
that. And also, well, we're going to have a lot more information about what's going on in the automotive world, even a look maybe, or we'll discuss the new Dodge Charger. It may not be all electric. So that's all coming up on Cruise Control. I'm Fred Staub. He is Les Jackson. We will be right back.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. We are going to start off with Toyota's big announcement. This is bigger, I think, than most people think.
Yeah,
But
I
they
agree.
announced they're going to start mass production of solid state batteries. This is a whole different level of technology.
Yeah,
We've been through lead acid and nickel hydride and uh, obviously lithium. All of those, well, they're solid materials, some of them, but this is solid state battery. The analog would be an SSD drive in a computer.
yeah, I would say big performance gains.
Tremendous performance for size, and should be extremely reliable. Very, very fast charging.
And potentially a little bit lighter too. So
Right.
you're getting a lot going on here, and I just think Toyota had been called out for not doing things for a while, and with electric vehicles and all that, and I think they're going to blow it wide open. That's what I think.
Yes, but there are some hurdles to overcome.
You always have to bring up the hurdles. Let's
Well, I'm
chat.
sorry,
Yeah.
but I got to bring up the physics of this.
Okay.
Um, but they're still going after it because they're 600-mile range, 10-minute charging. Hey,
You could take
um,
a pretty big trip in 600 miles.
oh boy. So, but repeated charging and discharging can cause cracks between the cathodes and the anodes and the solid electrolytes
Okay.
and ruin the battery. Um,
Party
they've
pooper. You're a party
Yep,
pooper.
their partners have been working on this, and I'm sure they'll come up with a solution.
Yep.
Because this is not just a battery for vehicles. This is something that can completely revolutionize cell phones.
Yeah, cell phones or even backup batteries for your house,
And
right?
and yeah, and those darn batteries I have to continually put in our flashlights. These things, these are great little flashlights, but they go out in about a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I sorry for the temper tantrum.
Yeah, no, but
It,
that's it's true.
yeah.
And yeah, but to be able to go 600 miles, I mean,
Oh, it's phenomenal.
and charge in 10 minutes, what kind of charger though will you need? Like a
Well, it's
800?
going to have to be a either two 440-volt systems or one 800-volt system.
Yeah.
You just throw a wire over the top lead on the utility pole
Mhm.
and stand back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big step though, and I think Toyota is taking the lead in this. Do you think they will pull it off? I think they will, but
I think they will, and I think they will share the technology with the other automakers. I'm not saying for free,
no, because if their
but
cars get 600 miles of range,
that's right.
and as everyone else's gets 300, it's not going to be
Yeah.
it's not going to be pretty.
If you have the patent on it, um, prepare to be a multi billionaire.
Would this open the floodgates though for people? I guess it depends reliability when they get here, still the charger network.
Right.
Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's why they're talking 2027.
yeah, yeah, but not that far off.
Not far, but it's a time factor, and I think things will have really changed a lot in the industry in those 3.5 more years.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting stuff, and we will be following it on cruise control for sure. Meanwhile, it's an interesting article on CarBuzz. They have some photos, which we can't share with you, of the pre-production vehicles Dodge Charger. And, their thought was the new Dodge Charger would be all electric. But when you look at the pictures, it shows that there is a transmission tunnel, and it basically looks
Yep.
like it is set up for a combustion engine.
Sure does. We're looking at the body, the basic body in white, as it's
These are
known.
pre-production cars that are
Right.
probably destined for the hands of journalists at some point. But we will
That's
talk
right.
more about what they might put in there that burns gasoline when we come back on Cruise Control. I'm Fred Staab. He is Les Jackson. You're on Cruise Control. Stay tuned.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. We were talking a little bit about the future of Dodge, and there's been a leak of some pictures of the Dodge Charger coupe body, whether that's an intentional leak by the company, Les. We've known that to happen, where the car is traveling along and boom, the cover blows off, and so it gets a picture. But who knows?
Whoops.
But the takeaway is that it looks like this will not be an all-electric vehicle, that there will be a combustion engine, at least potentially capability of being fitted. And what would that be? Well, it could be the straight six Hurricane engine, which is coming into the lineup for Dodge and Jeep, all Stellantis products, really. And the top of the range model has well over 500 horsepower. It's a twin turbocharged straight six.
That's a heck of a six.
Yeah, that is a heck of a six. The only thing I can think of that would come close is some of the BMW models, right? Who have often liked straight six engines. So more than likely, that will probably get one of those Hurricane models, and they'll probably do the Scat Pack with a 300 and something horsepower version, and then maybe, who knows? I don't know if they'll have a Hellcat with a straight six, but maybe the top of the range one is I think they were talking about 560 some odd horsepower.
Notice it's a hatchback too.
Interesting stuff. So we don't know much more than that, but we do know it is coming, and they are building it, and this is a prototype vehicle, so it will. We'll have to see where it ends up, right?
Yep, I'm sure we'll be introduced to it pretty soon, actually.
So let's talk about something that you can get, and this is from Mercedes, the Mercedes AMG E PErformance Hybrid. It's the first SUV with the Mercedes AMG exclusive E PErformance Hybrid technology, hand-built M1391 AMG 2-liter engine with electric exhaust gas turbocharger, the most powerful four-cylinder in the world. The electric boost enables system output of, get this, for a four-cylinder, 2-liter four-cylinder, 671 horsepower. How about that?
Well,
and it says in the release for agile acceleration, which would
agile acceleration, or it comes to speed well.
Yes, I would say that would give you agile acceleration, and it is hand built and signed. The engine itself puts out 469 horsepower. Then they add on this electro turbocharger, and that's where you get the big horsepower. Peak combustion pressures of 2,300 psi. You wonder how this doesn't just blow the head gasket out, right?
Well, yeah. What is the long-term viability of this thing?
Well, let's talk about the electric. I have no answer for that. So.
Yeah, I don't either.
But it has the function of the electric exhaust gas turbocharger. It's a 1.6-inch thin electric motor integrated directly on the shaft of the turbocharger between the turbine wheel on the exhaust side and the compressor wheel on the intake side. This directly drives the shaft of the turbocharger and is electronically controlled, accelerating the compressor wheel before the exhaust gas takes over to drive it in a conventional manner. Well, what does that mean? No turbo lag because it's already spooled up, right? And it is
That's right.
Powered by a 400-volt high-voltage system, and that's what brings it up to speeds of, check this, 175,000 RPM.
Good. That's God, jet engine.
That's like a jet engine, right? How fast do jet engines turn?
Oh, no, they actually spin up. Actually, no, they don't spin quite that much. They only spin around 50 or 60.
Wow.
Now, let me just introduce a little negativity here.
Okay.
Because for the Washington Auto Press rally that I mentioned last hour, I didn't have it as a test car for the week. I had it for about 3 days before that. They asked me to bring a Mercedes GLE 63 AMG to the rally.
Okay.
Which is bigger, but it's basically the same deal.
Okay.
And it beat me to death. It was the harshest riding unbelievable. And that was on comfort mode. It had sport and track modes. Um,
Track, they just someone comes and takes the springs out and puts like a pipe
yeah,
in it.
yeah. Basically, yeah, it's like rolling a brick down the road, and and everybody who drove it in the rally, or not everybody, but a lot of people said, "Boy, it's really fun. It's incredibly fast, but God, it rides hard." Coming back home because I kept it for the rest of the weekend, and we went went out to the Shenandoah apple picking. Everybody in the car said, "Why does this thing ride so hard? I'm getting a headache." And
Oh, that's
and
not
by the
good.
way, this was $153,000.
Well,
So my question is, who buys this and puts up with that kind of harshness? That's all I'm saying. I'm not
I
saying it's
will
not a bad vehicle.
I will probably say you can get some of them low mileage where people bought them and said, "Oh my God, this is
Yes,
too much
yes,
for me."
that's what I think.
Yeah, if a car gives you a headache because it's literally shaking your brain and your head,
Yeah.
that's not good. That's not a comfortable ride.
But why does Mercedes even decide to do that? Oh, make it that way in sport mode, but in comfort mode, make it comfortable.
Yeah. You know who used to be great at engineering suspensions? Audi. They would make them like they were
Audi.
very compliant and comfortable.
Yep.
Uh,
And Aston Martin is wonderful at it.
yeah, because it's a tourer. It's a GT. It's a tourer. You want
Yeah.
to be comfortable. Just one more number on this engine, which blows my mind. So it's 671 horsepower, 752 pound-feet of torque.
Yes. Yep.
That is
Well, it's
unbelievable.
impressive.
You know,
It's impressive.
just it just blows you away that this can come from a four
And
cylinder. The only thing I can
yeah,
think of is
a 2 liter
yeah,
4 cylinder, 2 liters. It's just
it's
like
just
this.
a standard. Well, almost a little bit bigger than normal four
It's
cylinder these days. Um,
yeah,
and the only thing I can recall is there was a while where NHRA was doing some four cylinder drag races, and they could get levels like that, but they had huge, gigantic turbochargers, and it was just a very just designed for the strip. This is designed and engineered for the road. And you asked about reliability. Who knows? I would say they engineered it very well, I'm sure.
yeah,
Um,
but it's going to be something that you better maintain scrupulously because it'll bite you if you don't.
that's true. That's true. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about Toyota's Crown. I have not driven this yet. I look forward to it, but this is what replaced their large sedan. It is a SUV like sedan, right? I guess is the best
Yeah.
way to describe it. And we have some news about some updates for that on for the 2024 model year. So we'll come back with that and talk about that. Fred Staab and Les Jackson, we will be right back on Cruise Control, so stay tuned.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. And we talked at the beginning of the hour about the Toyota Crown, the 2024 Toyota Crown that's taken over.
For their
What would you
big
say, Fred?
sedan.
Taken over from the Avalon?
From the Avalon. It is
Right,
kind of
which
the
is a
new.
terrific car.
Yeah, no longer available at this location.
No, well, of course, everything I like is no. But anyway, the Crown is, as Fred said before the break, it's kind of an SUV-ish sedan.
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah,
And
it's
a high sedan.
a high sedan, not not designed to be a crazy wild off-roader, but raised up enough that it can get along quite well.
Yeah,
And it was new this year,
yeah.
2023, and they've already done some updates for 2024.
A light refresh.
Well, but still, that's kind of impressive that they would attend to whatever they felt they wanted to change right away,
Yeah,
and upgraded materials in the interior.
yeah, yeah. They Toyota's really upped their game as when it comes to
Yeah,
interiors. And let's talk a little bit about what's new here. It's still offered in the XLE Limited and Platinum trim levels. It now starts at $40,050. That's only $100 more than it was. The Limited goes for $45,650, and the Platinum tops in at $53,070. So that's an increase, respectively, of $100 and $720. Destination charge, you tack that on $1,095. So upgraded materials, soft touch materials, new warm steel colored accents. It's really, though, unique that they've updated the interior so quickly. But it shows that they're on top of it. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I'm sure this is, we were talking earlier about hard riding cars. I'm sure this is probably a pretty decent riding car, wouldn't you say?
yeah, and the big sunroofs, moonroofs.
Yeah.
Uh, it's quite a car. I'm going to call it a car.
Okay. It's sort of like some of those high sedans that that BMW brought out. I guess the X6 would be something that comes to
Right.
mind.
Yeah.
And originally I thought, well, who would buy something like this? But apparently people do, right?
Well, yes, because it's raised up enough that you feel you have a visibility that you kind of need because you need to see, like the people driving SUVs do, and it's easy to get in. A lot of older buyers don't want to have to climb up to get in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Toyota does have a very, very sizable market in the more senior, let's put it that way, demographic.
I love how you put the emphasis on that. But
It's yeah. Well, but somebody has to sell vehicles to that market.
yes. Well, I look forward to trying the Crown. I have not been in it yet, and we'll give you a full at the wheel review when we get it for sure, and talk about it. One thing we should talk about from IC Cars is their study about used cars, right? Used cars and EV affordability. IC Cars always has some interesting takes on things. And we'll tell you a little bit about the highlights of what they were discussing. As you know, Les, used car prices went through the roof during COVID, and they stayed pretty high afterwards. There's a shortage of them, basically. Yep. Then we had the supply chain issues, and then they kind of never came down. So here's a kind of a take from the folks at IC Cars, and they say over the past year, used cars have become 5.8% more affordable as prices fell and median household income rose. New and used electric vehicles are rapidly improving in affordability, with prices down 10% for new EVs and 20% for used EVs. 23 used models have become more affordable since October 22nd, including the Chevy Blazer, Honda Pilot, and Tesla Model 3. And new cars have become less affordable due to higher prices and higher interest rates, increasing their monthly payments by 11.3%, which is pretty big.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Now you can get a 90-month loan
Oh, man.
when you buy a new vehicle. 90 months. But that loan term adds typically $14,000 or 28% to the total cost of a car. That's just scary.
Well, and that's how a lot of dealers sell. Well, you want a payment, you say, hey, I can afford $400 a month or something like that. Yeah, but how much does it cost me? It's not just I want to pay $400 a month. I mean, what is the total cost? Oh, well, I can't tell you that.
Yeah, well, a lot.
6 cars have become more unaffordable since October 22nd, and some make sense. Ford Bronco, the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, and the Toyota Prius Prime. Hyundai Tucson Hybrid is a hot seller, by the way. It does great.
It is.
And I reviewed that. You can check out our YouTube page. I reviewed that not that long ago, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. So used car affordability has increased, which is good. But 21. Here's a list for if you're looking for a used car. 21 more used cars are affordable this year, and just a quick sampling of them. A BMW i3 is down 16%. The Chevrolet Blazer is down 12.9%. The Stelvio, Alfa Romeo Stelvio, down 8%. Volvo S60 down 11%, and on and on and on. And Nissan NX300 down 0.1%. So don't spend it all in one place, right?
Yeah, that's right. Volvo S60, by the way, is a really, really nice car. It's down 14%.
Yeah.
So something to think about.
Yeah. And we'll put a link up to this IC Cars report, because there's a lot more information that we don't have time to go into, but just shop smart. Shop smart is the main thing to say here. Now, while we're on pricing and dealers, so the Nismo Z, right? Expensive car, hard to come by. Check this out. A Nissan dealership, this is from CarBuzz, a Nissan dealership in El Monte, California, was found to have marked up a Nissan Z Nismo to a ludicrous $158,495. That's $89,000, $89,995 over the $68,500 manufacturer MSRP. Car stealth gray, super black, two-tone paint. It has that for $1,200. A black metallic kick plate priced at $500, and a $210 scuff protection package on the interior. But people are out there reporting these people, and that is just ludicrous, isn't it? And it said something like, this is a very hard to come by car, so you're going to have to pay more money for it. Isn't it terrible?
That's not what I would reply to the dealer. You know what I would reply, uh, but essentially it would be something like, "I'm going to make you famous, and you're not going to like it."
Yes, I hope you enjoyed selling Nissans because maybe you won't be
Yep.
selling them anymore. Um, they can do this, but the thing to stop them is everyone report them and just don't buy it. Just
Just
don't
don't
buy it.
buy it. Yeah.
You'll be able to get
Blackball
one.
them.
Yeah, just say I'm not. And one guy said I'll give you $40,000 over the MSRP, and the guy's like, nope, that's not enough. Greedy,
Well,
greedy, greedy, greedy. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
that's greedy.
I don't mind a dealer,
Well,
with something super desirable, but this crazy.
yeah, we'll be right back on Cruise Control. Stay tuned. Fritz Staab, Les Jackson. And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred Staab, Les Jackson, we're glad you're here. And Les, is it time to save the manuals? What do you think?
Ah, yes, indeed.
You answered correctly. Thank you. Um, this is from a roundtable interview attended by The Drive. Porsche 911 and 718 boss Frank Mosier told the media that the automaker will continue to sell cars with manual transmissions, and it hopes to be able to do so to at least the end of the current generation of sports cars. A added manual transmission is always what the customer wants in the 911, so we have been and are working as long as possible to save the manuals. That's absolutely relevant for the 911. That's why we have the 911T with a manual gear shift, and now the 911 ST with a stick shift, and that's what they want. And
Okay.
he was asked if Porsche can keep manual transmissions alive through the current generation of cars, and replied, "We're working on it, and the manual option is not necessarily guaranteed to live on." But he said, what if when Porsches go electric? He said simulated shifts could be a possibility, but Porsche is decided against this. What we want, and that's the key for Porsche, is to make it authentic. Well, I don't know. Let's put it in perspective. No more manual Corvettes. It would have been terrible. It would have been a cable-shifted manual, and they decided we're not going to do it, right? And the world didn't end.
Well, that's right. Also, I mean, really, you're willing to go into new technology for everything with the computers and the phones and now the microwaves that actually cook for you.
The microwaves that cook for you.
Oh yeah, that's the big thing. They're advertised all the time. You buy this, and then you buy the meal, of course, and then you put it under the scanner, and it cooks it for you.
Oh, I see.
Microwave
I
part.
see. I got you.
And I'm thinking, I like to cook.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
yeah.
Well, anyway, they're saying that the 911, okay, a greater percentage buying 911s want stick shift, but still a very, very large percentage don't.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if it becomes electric and you want a fake stick shift, doesn't this kind of mean that you're the kid that put the playing cards in your bicycle spokes?
To make it sound like a motorcycle?
Yeah, so just grow up.
I think they were saying they won't do that. They won't do the simulated shifts.
Right.
But
it's just, the 911 is a tremendously high performance car, and with an automatic, it is better performance than you can get with a stick.
Now, didn't GM, they took one of their transmissions, Porsche's transmissions, and modeled the C8 after that because they liked how fast it shifted.
Right.
Or used it as a development. Do you think sometime in the future there will be people that will have a manual car and they will charge people to say, "Here, learn how to drive a manual"?
Hey, there's a business opportunity here.
Yeah, we will have like a little closed track. So, and we'll have hills on
That's right.
it, and we'll have like
That's right.
hills up and down, so you can try like going into
That's
lower
right.
gear and downshifting.
Your instructor is this man. His name is Synchro Mesh, and he will teach you all the things about a clutch and a throw-out bearing and synchronizers and why you're so much better off with an automatic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But,
they're going to try to keep it as long as they can. That's
fine. I mean, they want to satisfy their customers, and I don't blame them.
No, that's part of business. So
Yeah, until you get down to like 8 customers,
that want
in
it.
which case you say, "Tell you what, buy
Yeah.
a Ferrari."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, except the Ferrari doesn't have a stick either.
Let's talk about the Cybertruck.
No, do we have to?
Well, yes, yes.
I know we have to.
Tesla's Cybertruck deliveries started even earlier than expected. 4 years after being introduced to the world, the first deliveries of Cybertruck will commence on November 30th. And this is the infamous 2019 reveal where Franz von Holzhausen hit the Cybertruck with a baseball bat and broke the side window. Remember that?
That is right. And they brought one over to Jay Leno's garage, and they drove one.
Mm-hmm.
And I am maybe wrong, because for 4 years I've been saying they're never going to produce this thing.
Right.
I am probably wrong. I will admit I'm wrong, unlike Mr. Musk. But I'm not wrong about how stupid it looks. And I think impractical, but I haven't been in one, so
well, if the
we'll see.
if the F-150 Lightning that we started this show off today talking about how they had to cut back on that, if the man for that is cutting back, much more traditionally styled, what will happen to the Cybertruck? I mean, how many of those offers, how many of those hand raisers that put down a deposit will actually buy one? I don't know.
Good question.
Tesla says that it aims to produce 250,000 units of the Cybertruck per year by 2025. I think it's a niche model, but we'll see what happens. I mean, do you think it's just kind of a niche model that there's a limited demand for it, and that's it?
I think so.
Okay.
I can't believe 250 in that short a time period, but hey, I am known to be wrong.
Yeah. I have not seen one other than prototypes, so I don't know. It will be interesting when November 30th is not that far off. It will be interesting to see which of us sees it first.
I'm sorry, but the thing just looks so idiotic. It's dorky. It's,
I remember some of our colleagues, automotive journalist colleagues, when it came out, they said that can't be real. That's just some kind of show car or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But
from the Lego Corporation.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lego Corporation. Yep. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. I wonder how that windshield's going to be, and how coming back at you so fast and far. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. So, what do you think? Drop us a note in the comments. Will the Cybertruck? They want to sell 250,000 of them a year, and per year by 2025. Will they reach that goal? We don't know. But what we do know is we want to thank you for listening to Cruise Control. We will be back again next week with a full 2 hours of automotive information. So don't forget to tune in, and don't forget to check us out on social media or Cruise Control page on Facebook and YouTube, and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
We're going to see you down the road.
Bye. Okay.